Hi everybody, it's Tom Kline coming to you from Raleigh, North Carolina at the Automotive Intelligence Summit. It's been great so far. The people here are fabulous, the speakers have been fabulous, and the panels have been great. So I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed listening to everybody project kind of where the technology is going. But what's interesting about the technology is even though it's moving, at the speed of light, there's still a lot of what I'll call analog risk work that needs to be thought of around it. All the what ifs, what happens if something goes wrong. And I've spoken to a lot of people who are involved both in technology and in shipping, and there's all kinds of parts of the car business here that are fascinating. And I'm going to encourage the same things that I've mentioned before, which is you have to think about what can possibly go wrong in your business. What happens if your platform crashes, as an example? Is there insurance for that? What happens if, and I can go on and on, which I'm not going to do because I like to keep these short. So the analog part of it has been particularly interesting in light of having such a technological bent and talking about the future of technology, customer data platforms, and those kinds of things. Remember to take a look at your insurance policies, and if you want to know what to worry about in an insurance policy, consider reading the exceptions. If you look at the exceptions, you'll understand what the underwriters are thinking about and what risk they're not interested in covering. Then you have to think about, in terms of that risk, whether that's something that could potentially happen or not. So I wanted to mention that because I think that's super important to talk about. Secondly, and a good funny story, I spoke about what to expect when you're inspected. So if a regulator comes in, what does that look like? And we talked about, of course, the most important thing before a regulator gets in is to have a governance, risk, and compliance program. And if you do, you'll have a much more pleasant conversation. At the end, one of the audience members came up to me and shook my hand. He was from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I asked him how my session was, and he gave me the thumbs up and enjoyed it. So I really enjoyed meeting him, and we'll look forward to collaborating with him going forward. And was happy to have him in the audience. But how ironic is it that he was in the audience and I didn't know? So when some of you asked me, well, that things never happened to me, what are the chances of somebody from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau being in the audience to talk about what happens when a regulator comes to visit? So hope you enjoy that little story. So I'm Tom Kline, and thanks for seeing things from a better vantage point. Have a great one. Take care.